sitcom.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Post-Binge podcast. And with the song, the opener here, pretty memorable. That's 70's show. That's what we're talking about here today. And I've got two guests here with me. Let's introduce them. This is Yuki.
Hey guys, nice to meet you all.
And we've got Clem here as well.
How you doing?
Alright guys, we're talking about that 70's show. This is something new that I've been wanting to do obviously for a while. I wanted to bring you guys in because we always fuck around. We've worked together in retail. We've done a lot of things together. So I think it'd be fun to...
Yeah, we've dealt with a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, so... and we've both... I know, Yuki, you've seen this show like probably multiple times.
Yep.
Clem, you didn't see it throughout, but...
No, I know the gist of it, definitely.
The gist?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty simple show, but it's very I think it has that rewatch value to it. So it's like
It's kind of iconic.
Yeah,
sense,
like
right?
yeah, exactly. You can like pretty much people know what the show is, and I think and the cool thing about it is like you don't really need to like actually watch like from episode 1 to 10 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
you can pick up any shows. Yeah,
they're just
sitcoms.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, the thing about this show I love though is the character development from like season 1 to 10. It's like so different. What season it ended?
I think it was like season 8 or something.
Season 8.
Not 100%
yeah,
sure.
something like that. But yeah, well, let's start off by introducing my guest, which is I want you to tell the people a little bit about you guys.
So I guess I'll start.
Yeah.
I'm Yuki. Basically, I love a lot of TV shows, especially if they're comedy.
Anime.
I've watched anime too. Yeah.
Because you're Japanese.
So that's supposed to be. It's 2020, man. We don't make assumptions here.
Alright.
But I've watched Friends, How I Met Your Mother, 2.5 Men, anything that you can think of. I haven't watched Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. That was one of the GOAT shows that a lot of people say.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah. I watched it growing up, but I wasn't I was a Friends fan over Seinfeld.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, right behind me.
Lovely Jennifer Aniston right
Yeah, the people listening on audio places like Spotify, there's a Friends poster behind me. That's kind of why.
Just randomly pointing.
there. I actually had a quick question. Like, what was your big reasoning behind choosing the 70's show for the podcast?
Well, the thing is choosing shows. I actually have a fat list of shows, so everyone
Yeah, you
people that
haven't
know
watched
me. Yeah,
most
I
of
haven't
them.
watched most of them. Yeah, I'm working my way through them because I watched like a bunch at the same time. So I watched like 5 at the same time. Like currently,
Jesus.
what am I watching? I'm watching One Piece for anime,
Yeah.
and I'm
Episode
watching.
900.
Well, I'm almost done. I'm almost caught up. I'm on like episode 900 something, so I'm like maybe a few episodes away, but it's ridiculous. And then I'm also watching. I started American Horror Story, and
Oh, that was pretty good.
I hear it's good. Yeah.
it's good, but it's very like it's weird because it feels like the acting isn't great, but then I think it's meant to be like that. Like it's an older model show. Like it came out in 2011, the first season, which I'm watching the first season, but like it feels like it was made in like the 90s.
I think that's the type of setting that they wanted when they were making that.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for, and I don't know if it's for me. I think it was rated great. I think it's like 8.5 out of 10 or something like that. So, but yeah, and then other shows I'm watching, like I'm really liking a couple Netflix shows I'm watching. Like I'm watching You right now. That one's weird as fuck,
Yeah.
but
Are you watching the first season or second?
I'm watching
season?
first season. I heard the second season's even crazier, but
It's one of those things when it first came out, there was a lot of controversy because they're like, it's kind of creepy.
yeah.
Like it's real creepy.
Oh, you know
Some
what?
personal experience?
No. Maybe
No,
the
no,
other
no.
side.
Yeah, but yeah, You the guy kills it as the actor Joe, whoever
Yeah.
plays Joe, the guy from Gossip Girl. Yeah, he's doing a really good job in that role, and I heard season 2 is good too. And then I'm also watching Travelers, that was filmed here where we live. It's in Vancouver, BC, and it's all filmed here, so it's like pretty crazy to see. Like literally, I know every scene where it is. I'm born and raised here, so I'm like literally know like all the locations. It's so sick.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
what's that one about?
It's about time travelers, but like they come. So basically, the future goes to shit, and then they come back to. They go back to the past. Actually, the future people, and they go back to the past to try to change things, but not too much. They just want to change the big thing that happens that ends the world pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's what they're. I'm only on like episode 5, but that's what I got from it so far.
Is it just one season, or
it's? I think there's a few seasons to it, maybe 2 or 3. But yeah, it's a Netflix series, and they might have bought it or something. But I think Netflix is playing it right now. But yeah, those are like the shows I'm watching right now. But yeah, it's like 5. I have a list. Literally, the list is like 150 something, and I'm done like 30.
Promise of Neverland.
I know that's on my list too.
Wait, are you one of those people like me, myself? I'll start a series.
Yeah.
I get really into it.
Yeah.
For maybe like a few weeks, and then I stop, like cold, like kind of like Walking Dead, Dexter.
Like, because it gets bad.
No, I'm actually.
I can't get bored of it. Like it's good, and then I just stop watching it for a little while. Either I get busy or something, and I just don't pick it back up. I never finish. I have so many series unfinished.
Oh, OCD. If anyone has OCD out there,
I'm kind of OCD, and I have. It's crazy. I'm going ordered to the list. I have to go. Even the reason why I chose that 70's show, going back to your question, is it's number 3 on my list when I started this really big list.
Really?
And the thing is, I watched it already, but I wanted to rewatch it because I watched it as a kid. Like, you know, when I started watching that 70's show. Do you know WWE SmackDown?
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I think 70's show started in 2006, I believe, and like it was on UPN after at like 7 p.m. Do you remember UPN? I think it was channel 14 here.
I don't think I had that channel.
It was a basic channel.
Yeah,
it was a basic channel. It was UPN channel 14, and then I watched it because I'm waiting for SmackDown to air at 8 o'clock. I was a huge wrestling fan back then when it was like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, The Undertaker. The Undertaker, and John Cena wasn't even a thing back then. Like, well, he was starting. I think he was the Chain Gang guy. You know, he was doing this and shit. Yeah. And then, so I was just waiting for it, and right before SmackDown was that 70's show, so I was like, might as well watch the show, and I got into it then, but I was watching random episodes, but then I fucking love like characters from it.
Especially when Netflix came out, you tend to watch all the shows all at once.
Thank God for Netflix, eh?
I actually never ever heard of the 70's show until I found it on Netflix.
Netflix? Yeah, that's almost a lot of people.
I never watched it.
How'd you come upon and click it? Like, what made you click it?
I think I finished like, what did I watch? Some TV show, and I was really bored, and I was trying to find something, and I just stumbled upon the 70's show.
Yeah.
And I think I binged the entire first 6 season before Topher Grace left the show in the span of like maybe 2-3 weeks.
Oh shit!
I had a lot of spare time back.
It's kind of rare because usually I'm the one that lives under a rock, but you didn't know that 70's show. That's kind of sad.
You wouldn't know half my story.
Oh man, yeah. Well, yeah. Let's talk about how we met each other before we get into the show, huh? So we all worked we worked at a retail store, let's say that for now. We worked at a retail store that all of us kind of like liked and disliked in the same way, but it was fun because whenever we got to work together, work was a lot more chill. Like that's the thing is when you get to work with shitty coworkers at retail all the time, and that makes work fucking hell. And the worst part about retail is customers. Customers are the worst, and then when we come upon shitty customers, it's so funny to come back to the stock room and just like shit on
random.
Or the random topics we talk about, like I don't know, me and Yuki especially, we like making people uncomfortable as fuck.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Like, we make people uncomfortable. You don't know what I'm talking about? Like, there's certain people that we work with, and we used to like.
Okay.
Yeah. We are straight, but we act gay. We
act is hard.
Yeah, we're very like.
Quotation marks.
We act very gay, and like we're more flamboyant with our coworkers just to make them uncomfortable. It's just fun. We just tap them in the bum, say weird ass stuff.
What happens in the back
Yeah, it stays in the back. It stays in the back. Yeah, don't let our girlfriends know about that. What happened in the back, you know.
Isn't your girlfriend out there?
She's not hearing this. You know?
She doesn't need to hear this.
She's getting a rise out of it.
Yeah. No.
Jeez, every time.
No, like it was fun. Like that's why I probably stuck around. Mostly the coworkers and our manager was awesome. So yeah, it was a chill place to work, honestly.
How long have you been there now?
Now what are we running at? Like 4 years almost.
Hey,
yeah.
You almost got your 5 years.
Yeah. I know. I get that 5 year. You got it already. You got
halfway
it.
to me, man.
I think I'm like about to 4 years.
Yeah, I'm actually almost 11.
Yeah, but you said you don't.
11 years on and off, man.
Technically, you should have been done a while ago, though.
That's longer than your high school. That's like going to high school twice.
Let's not compare it to that.
That's a little fucked, though.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really nice working with you guys always. Whenever he works.
Yeah, it's cool when you can become friends with the people you work with, and it doesn't happen often. You know, like a lot of times I don't even want to see some of the coworkers I see. You know, like, but sometimes I'm just like, most of them are really chill at the retail store where you actually like meet a lot of people that are like, well, a lot of our customers are like the privileged people that are like so obnoxious. So that's why I thought all the coworkers are going to be like. But it doesn't make sense for that because then they wouldn't be working. You know, they have
at
money.
A retail store, I guess.
They wouldn't be working though. They have the money. Why would you work? You know, your parents give you whatever you want. They wouldn't be working. But most of the workers are like pretty damn chill. Like you guys, I did not expect you guys to be. You guys are more like East Van folks. You're a hipster.
Well, I mean,
East Van. North Van represents.
I know, but like you guys act like people like not even East Van, but like more like just Vancouver.
We're just chill. But it's funny because like I grew up in that area and I went to school in that area, but at the same time you meet all sorts of people. You meet people that are stereotypical, privileged, entitled. And
you know it too, right?
Jackasses.
Yeah.
But then at
and
the same time,
there's some privileged people that are really chill. Like it's like hit or miss with these type of people, but yeah. All right, let's get to the show, huh? So when was the last time you guys watched that 70's show?
I was watching it last night.
You were watching last night, probably prepping for this, but like
just a little recap, you know.
Yeah, I think the last time I watched it, like I watched it beginning to end, maybe again for probably the third time. Probably.
Third time.
Yeah, probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I watched it like throughout again.
Okay.
And you were just on and off, right? You didn't
mine's on. It was probably actually when it was on cable, which is a long ass time. But at the same time, I was reminded of it because I actually have a friend that looks like Ashton Kutcher.
Oh.
And I'm not even.
Yeah, really?
No way.
Ashton Kutcher.
Does he have a girlfriend that's like Mila Kunis?
If you look him up, I swear to God, look him up.
Oh yeah, I'll look him up.
He has shaggy ass hair. His old school. Yeah, I'll type it in for you. And I should you not.
His girlfriend better look like
That's the thing. I don't really know.
Better look like Mila Kunis, you know.
He just kind of looks like.
Oh, that picture really looks like.
What?
I'm sorry, but people, I'm not gonna show this to you guys, but that looks.
Yeah, he.
Oh, okay. I get.
No, that other picture.
No, wait for it. Right
here.
here.
Picture really looks like him.
Like just kind of uncanny.
There's that green. This one.
Like him with the short hair.
Yeah. But he's an ugly version of Ashton Kutcher.
Budget version. That's what he's so
the Costco brand, the Kirkland brand.
Costco's pretty good. We're talking about like no frills.
No frills. Hey, don't.
I mean, I love that place.
No frills is
amazing.
No frills is the bomb, bro. Don't talk down on no frills.
What were you? When's the last time you saw it?
Yeah, I was saying like a couple years ago. So it hit differently when I'm. You know, it's hilarious because I watched it when I was like fucking 10 or whatever, right? So when I watched it again now, I know the jokes now. You know, like you didn't understand most of them. I didn't even know what marijuana was when I was like 8 years old, whatever.
Whoa! They never claimed it was marijuana.
Yeah, true, but
they're always.
They're very scary. Now they probably could if they made it this day and age where it's legal in most places.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's pretty. It's interesting to see.
I still find it weird that
changes.
weed is illegal here. Like it's
because
in my head it's always been
illegal. And in the U.S., I think it's legal in a lot of places. Like Washington, it's legal. California, so there's a lot of places that's coming through now with these with marijuana become legalized. Like entire Canada is legal now.
Well, it's funny because I feel like people actually don't crack down on marijuana more. The spotlight's actually more on vaping. and like the dangers of vaping because it's so accessible and people.
I don't think that's that bad either. Just because any of the deaths that were caused by vaping, were from black market sellers.
Okay.
So they had chemicals mixed in.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's an early 2000s show, and like those shows just hit different, huh?
They have a lot more. They have a lot more jokes that they can use that definitely wouldn't be appropriate to make on a day-to-day basis.
That's what I hate about today. Like it's so hard to do comedy. That's why I really wanted to do this type of podcast thing, and like other things. Like I'm making other videos. I'm doing projects, but I always wanted to make like. I love film, and I've always wanted to do a comedy thing too, like a comedy film. But like, there's so much. The world is soft.
Yeah.
That's it. The world has become soft. Like you just can't say anything, and it's a joke. But like people think like, oh, he's joking, but deep down, it's that's what he believes. I'm like, dude, I'm probably gonna forgot what I even said yesterday. Like like it's just comes out at the moment. Yeah. Like I like unfiltered shit. I like to say whatever the fuck I want, and that's how this kind of podcast is gonna be. Like this is episode 3. I know you guys are probably, if you've seen the last 2, like you'll see like where I'm gonna say whatever I want. I allow my guests to say whatever they want, and even though it's a friendly topic, just about television. It's kind of cool to just be able to say whatever you want without having any worries, basically. But the problem is, though, you still gotta watch what you say because this is going online, and then you still want to get jobs one day. People will hunt you down. But obviously, it's not like we're freaking racist and stuff. We'll act like we're racist when we when I call them Japanese and stuff. But it's all fun and games between
like I would never
friends.
take it offensive.
Exactly. Like I'm not gonna call some guy on the street that looks Japanese, like, I'm not going to say something about them, but, like, my friends, so I'm going to say whatever the hell I want, right?
There's not really a lot of racist words for Japanese people.
Yeah, you're lucky, huh? No.
Do we want to get into that?
We're not going to get into I will never. One guy who worked with us, there's a story here. One guy who worked with us, he made a joke with Yuki, and this guy he's pretty damn quiet. Like, he doesn't say anything. You'll know exactly what he doesn't say much. He's very kind, and he's such a good worker. And then one day, he just goes to the back, and he's just like, Yuki. And he goes like, and we were like,
I laughed really hard at that. It's funny.
And the meaning, tell them what that means.
Basically, he was imitating the atomic explosion that happened in Japan.
To be clear, it's the mushroom cloud that forms after an explosion.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like, it was pretty wild to see a guy like that go up there, but I loved it. I was like, yes.
You know what's funny? He didn't like me in the beginning.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I first met him, I asked him about it later.
Oh, yeah.
We're good friends now.
He's like, yeah,
I wasn't a big fan of you. And I was like,
that's funny.
It's funny, you made that mushroom joke from day 3.
But then that was when you guys were friends, or still not really?
I think we were still getting to know each other at that point.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. This is a sitcom, right? That 70's show?
All right.
It's considered a sitcom, so like, but then what other sitcoms you guys watch? You guys watch like these laugh track shows,
I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
What is a sitcom? Like, what is the definition?
Okay, I'm gonna define sitcom, but I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but like,
general idea of it, right?
So here it defines it as, what does sitcom mean? Okay, a sitcom, clipping for situational comedy. So yeah, sitcom is a genre of comedy centered on a fixed set of characters who carry over from episode to episode. Yeah, sitcoms originated in radio, but today are most well known on television.
That's really broad.
Fair enough. Yeah,
so like
a lot of things.
And most sitcoms have a set too. Like they're based on like they look like they're like on different scenes. Like the house, like that 70's show has the house. They have literally like 3-4 locations that they keep going to. There's the cafe or whatever. There's the basement. The basement. There's the house. They're probably different sets in one area, right? That's how a lot of television works, especially sitcoms. And they sometimes have a live audience. Yeah. So can spit that out, but yeah, live audience where they actually can they laugh. That's what the laugh track comes from, right? So it's pretty interesting. Have you ever watched a show, a sitcom show with laugh track, and then just pay attention to the laugh track?
It's
just the laugh track.
Yeah, like you're watching the show and just listen to the laugh track.
Have you listened to it without the laugh track?
Oh, I've done that too.
Oh.
Some shows can pull it off because there's some shows that are that don't have laugh tracks, like Parks and Recreation, The Office, and their comedies like that. They're kind of sitcom-y, and they work, but they're meant to be awkward.
Too,
yeah, they're more modern. All the modern shows, Modern Family. There's a lot of these modern shows. Big Bang Theory, I think it's like the last laugh track show.
Well, I think now
so.
people just see it kind of like it's kind of cheesy now.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And it's almost like prompting people.
But it works.
This is when you should be laughing.
2000 shows, it works. You know, like but it's so funny. I was watching that show, that 70's show. I was just listening to the laugh tracks. You don't even pay attention to what they're saying, and you laugh. Listen to the laughs, and then the most fake laughs ever. Like nobody laughs like that. You know, there's no laughs exactly like that.
Can you imitate? Weird. Can you give us?
I can't even imitate it, but like let's find some laugh track right now. It's just funny to hear the laugh tracks. Or let's watch I don't want no copyright infringement, but let's just listen. Like who laughs like this? I guess it's like a lot of people. And they do the claps whenever someone returns or they get a big actor. The sitcoms always do this. They bring in like a big guy, like Tom Cruise or something comes in.
And everyone cheers.
Everyone cheers and laughs. And the funniest thing is they have to pause and wait for the laughs to be over before they can say their next line. Have you ever noticed that?
It's cool how they time it very well, actually.
Yeah, most of the time you don't notice, but if you pay attention, they do it every time because they can't talk over the laughs. They have to wait.
No, these people paid.
The laugh track? Yeah, I was wondering that. Actually, not sure.
It's kind of like Ellen when you're like, oh, I'm going to win tickets just because I want to be on Ellen. And that's the best part of it. Yeah. Right? Just the being present in the moment.
Just to be on, exactly. Oh, yeah. Who's your guys' favorite characters from the show? It's a tough one, eh? There's a lot of good characters on the show.
You're basing it on personality.
Okay, there's two things. How about favorite character and favorite actor in the show? Those two different things. To me, it's two different things.
Ooh. Favorite character would definitely have to be Hyde. I love his personality.
I don't think you were going there, but
very nonchalant.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories from day to day.
Yeah.
Smoking weed by night.
Yeah.
Favorite actor though. I think it'd have to be Ashton Kutcher. Because I watched him on 2.5 Men recently as well.
Oh yeah. I actually think I liked what he did on 2.5 Men. I thought it was gonna be a bust, but it was pretty decent on it.
He kind of evolved, I think.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a Matthew McConaughey type. He is very typecast in a certain role, and then he was able to expand and break out of that.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of see.
Yeah. So. How about you?
Ooh.
You know it enough, right?
I know enough. I think I would base it on. I'd probably choose Fez just because he's outrageous, and you can kind of predict what he's gonna do, but he still surprises you.
Fez.
Yeah.
Good day.
Good day, sir.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I said good day.
What about
Fez
you?
is hilarious. My thing with Fez is his goal of getting laid. The first few seasons of him trying to get laid was I was cheering for him. Like me as a early high school, I felt like I was a Fez. I'm trying to get laid out here. But
I thought this was you at 10 years old.
Well, that was the first time I watched it. I watched it a bunch of times. But the second time I watched it in high school, and I'm goddamn, come on, Fez, you can do this, man. Give me hope, like, fuck. Give the brown guy a hope. He's a brown skinned guy.
Brown skinned guy.
Like, fuck.
Straight out of East Fad.
No, like, the Fez has so many funny moments for him. Like, we don't know where he's from. We don't know what language he speaks. Well, apparently he speaks Dutch, like, is one of those languages he speaks. Yeah,
he can dance.
His dancing skills are ridiculous. We know that he's on an island or something, but there's so many countries. But I love how they kept it so mysterious. And do you know actually what Fez stands for?
No, okay, I actually don't know.
Foreign exchange student. So instead of with the S, they switched it to a Z.
No, did they explain that in the show, or is that just kind of like
I don't remember where I saw it, but I know this. Foreign exchange student. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I think it was smart of them to have them make his nationality very broad, so that they wouldn't actually offend anyone regardless.
He looks like you can't really. I don't even know what the actor. I forgot what his name is. I think it's William Valer.
Oh, actually, yeah,
whatever his name is. But he looks like he's like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Where the fuck are you from? I know he's Samoan and stuff, and what?
Yeah. Have you seen him talk normally?
No, actually.
Like, not in the show?
Oh, actually, I have, I think, but
it throws you off.
Is it just a normal?
It throws you off.
It's regular.
You know what's crazy? I've seen him in person, actually. I've seen him in person.
Where?
Yeah, at the arena. When I worked at when I was working in the arena, I seen him a while ago, a few years ago. I thought I was gonna end up serving him, but he actually went to one of the other bars. But it was pretty interesting. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get a fat tip from this guy. He got money. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, like, when you're talking about the ambiguity of his nationality, is I think it just made it easier to poke fun at the character too, because it doesn't feel like you're not singling out any one single person, right, or nationality.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if they were to do that, I think the 2000s would have been totally fun.
Yeah. Like that transition.
And that's how the show used a little bit of racism here and there, obviously, with the black hide, and also his fro, the hide ended up being half black. It made sense, but like sense. Yeah, I was like, how is this guy have the biggest fro, man? But like he looks white as fuck, but he has a fro. It's pretty cool how they brought in different races. Even though 70s, there was obviously racism was alive and well. I was wondering how they're gonna play that in, but they did it pretty effectively, I thought.
I thought that all of the situational comedies around that time was pretty sexist as well. Like especially watching back now. Like let's say, for example, like Midge. She plays that typical like blonde
bimbo.
Bimbo.
Yeah,
that's exactly what her character is, right?
That reminded me of the scene.
Dumb blonde. That's exactly what her character was.
Well, reminded me of the scene that you guys mentioned. It was the what's it? You're a god scene, right?
Oh yeah.
Eric,
you're a god.
I think that's probably one of the that 70s show scene. If you don't know what scene I'm talking about, obviously you probably seen the show. If you're watching this, if not, it's pretty cool. You can listen to us talk about it and then go watch it, and you'll see what we mean. But there's this scene. There's the two characters, Eric and Donna, are dating. I think they just started dating, but basically Eric's car Donna went in there, and then they saw panties, right? Mm-hmm. He saw someone's panties in there, so she was freaking out. And then, so long story short, it ended up being Donna's mom's panties. And when Kelso and Fez found out about that, they went to the ground and were just obeying this guy. Was just like
worshipping him.
That's the word. He was worshipping him. It's like, you're a god, Eric. You're a god. That was just so funny. Probably one of my favorite scenes from that show.
I feel like it's a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah, it's probably like on the top of most people's lists. But yeah, I don't know. My favorite actor, it's for sure Red. So I don't know what the actor's name is. I forgot, but
it might as well be Red. It's that.
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick, but to give him the props. But
I mean, he definitely has some iconic.
Yeah, I just thought his acting, like he still throughout the whole show, he was very.
Well, you believed him.
Yeah, you believed him. Like, he was like literally pissed. Yeah, like, he's the type of dad that I thought would be in the 70s. The guy that went to the Vietnam War or Vietnam War. I should have said it right.
Yeah.
Vietnam War. Vietnam. Like, a lot of white people say it Vietnam, right?
Vietnam.
Oh yeah, Vietnam.
Yeah.
That's how white people say it.
I want the Nam.
Americans say America. They go America. They go
America.
Vietnam. Vietnam.
Yeah. Okay, well...
Were you in Vietnam? That's exactly how they say it.
And much respect to all the soldiers and everyone that went out there. Much respect, but at the same time, man, that was fucked up. That was some fucked up shit.
Yeah, I was joking here and there. But, like, in the show, he was obviously went to the Vietnam War, and his actor, the name is Kurtwood Smith. Yeah, I thought he did a great job on the show. He was obviously that dad that had to be very strict, but, like, it was so funny to see Eric just get called a dumbass every episode, and him threatening to put his foot up his ass.
Yep.
That was the two funniest lines. Like, this foot up. He did so many different versions of foot in his ass. Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, he did one. I just recently remembered. It was the vacancy. It's like, oh, your ass is a vacancy, and my foot's looking to fill that vacancy.
Yeah, there's so many funny ass
creativity just to say that thing.
There's a compilation on YouTube.
I gotta watch that compilation again, man. It's so funny. And then my favorite character is Kelso. I just love how dumb he is, and like Michael from Jackie. Michael, I love that. It's like Jackie. I love them two. Oh, I'm so glad they ended up together.
Yeah.
Mila Kunis and
speaking of Mila Kunis, though,
yeah,
she's probably my favorite.
Here we go.
I mean, come on, yeah.
Leave it up to Clem to talk about the girl.
I think she did a great job as actress too.
She did.
She played a. For me, she had the most character development. Like she developed the most throughout the show. Like she changed so many times. Everyone else stayed the same. Hyde was like pretty much the same throughout. He developed a little bit.
Up a little.
Yeah, he did. He did develop. Actually, he's probably the second most that developed. Red stayed the same pretty much. He softened up a bit. Eric stayed the same pretty much. Yeah. Donna was the same almost, and then she got a little bit more confidence, I guess.
Kelso was always dumb.
Kelso was always dumb. Yeah. Fez did a lot of development. Fez too. Fez, Hyde, and Jackie. But Jackie, I thought she did a lot because in the beginning, everyone hated her. Even us watching probably hated her. But then you start to like warm up to her when she got a little bit more intelligent, I guess, and like
a little more intelligent.
And then when she dropped Kelso, that's when she kind of got a little bit better. And we started dating Hyde, and
Kelso didn't change much. Hey?
No, I love him. I was like, stay the way you are, man. Him falling off the freaking the tower. What is it called?
The water tower.
The water tower. Holy crap! How many times did he fell off that thing? It was so funny.
Well, some characters you don't want them to change.
Yeah, it's like you're fine. Don't change what's not broken. You know, like that's why I always go by when I do my own work. I'm like, I'm not gonna change what's not broken. There's one way to do it and it works. I'm not gonna change it.
Yeah.
Why? Right. So, but if there's some characters that need development, like to move the story forward, you need to do some development. Kelso's not the main character, obviously. Like Eric was probably the main character in the show, but Hyde was up there, Donna. So those guys needed that development, and Jackie did a good job, I thought. Did a good job in developing. So.
Yeah, when especially like Eric left the show, I think it
that's when you needed. Yeah, that's when you needed other people to step up, right? So when Kelso left too, right? At the same time, Michael and Eric left, and then it became this other guy. I forgot the guy with the long hair, but
his name's Randy in the show.
Randy,
yeah.
That guy, Randy. Yeah, I did not like Randy. He did not fit in that well, in my opinion. But
that's why I liked Ashton Kutcher as an actor, because when he came in to do 2.5 Men, he kind of put his own spin into it.
Yeah, he didn't try to play Charlie Sheen, right?
Yeah,
he didn't try to play that role. He made it his own thing. So yeah, that's a.
And he was coming into it as like a big name too, like that show. Like he had built up a reputation at that point. So
I mean, I think the 70's show was kind of a gateway for a lot of the actors that were in there. So Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, and
Topher is kind of he was in a few movies. There was one movie I'm not sure you guys ever watched. It was something to do with business, and he was basically dating his boss's daughter. And that was kind of like a rom-com movie for him. It was with Quinn. I forgot that guy's name, but anyways, rom-com kind of died down afterwards. He didn't really take off like Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher did like what he did, Punked as his own kind of show.
A bunch of movies. Yeah, I think out of all the stars, he probably blew up. Him and Mila Kunis blew up the most, probably.
I don't actually know what Donna's.
Donna was in a couple of shows. She had a big role in Orange is the New Black. She was in How I Met Your Mother. She had a pretty decent role there for a while.
She was in How I.
Yeah, she was his college girlfriend. I forgot her name.
Was she crazy?
She was like a crazy college girlfriend with Ted's. But what else she did? She did. Yeah, Orange is the New Black's the biggest thing I think she's done. But Hyde has his own show, The Ranch Show.
Actually,
yeah. It's kind of like he has Michael in it too. I think he has Ashton Kutcher in it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Fez though.
Yeah.
I don't think he really did anything.
Fez, I think wasn't he in like Dancing with the Stars or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's it.
No, I think he was, but like, yeah, I don't know. Eric though, when it was Venom, that was his big role though. But he fucking I did not like him as Venom.
No.
He was in a Black Mirror episode too.
Which one?
Yeah. It was the one where there was a guy who abducts a person from a company. I think, because he wanted to talk to the CEO, who was Topher Grace, I think.
Right. Oh.
But then he was out in the middle of nowhere having like a therapeutic session.
I watch all Black Mirror episodes.
He had a beard. That's why it threw me off.
Oh, I think I know. Yeah, he did have a big beard, right?
This is not the animal one, right?
No.
That was
the pig one? No.
The pig.
No,
Oh, okay,
it's not the pig one.
Okay. I haven't seen the pig one.
First episode.
No, it was about the social media and how it impacted his life or something. I don't remember.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyways, do you guys have any like favorite moments or favorite episode maybe from the show that you can like remember?
Favorite episode?
I don't have a favorite episode, but I have a favorite moment. It's always when they're in that circle, the implied like marijuana circle.
Yeah.
And it's really ingenious actually now that I'm thinking about it, because when I was a kid, I didn't really understand. I was just like, oh, this is how they're presenting. They're showing the person who's speaking and they're talking about their experience. But then now, if you think about it, it's kind of creative where you go around and it just looks like they're smoking marijuana. They're just chilling, and you're part of the group and you're part of the conversation. And some of the stuff that they said would be the dumbest shit ever, but that's the best part.
Yeah.
It was like a free speech circle.
It was the circle, like every episode had some way of having one, and they had different versions of it. I thought it was their copyright, their trademark. That's what it was their like every show has kind of like that. This is the most original thing about the show is the circle, and it was pretty big back then. I think the early 2000s to bring up even marijuana like that. It was pretty cool to have it. Yeah, they didn't say it ever.
No.
Hey, did you guys ever have a circle? Thing is, I never grew up with like your regular weed circle, but I did have like just dumb circles, like dumbass circles. After school, we just all stand in a circle and like chat and figure out what you want to do. But literally would stand there for like fucking hours sometimes. Like an hour and a half would go by after school. We're just standing there trying to figure out what we're going to do. And you know what we end up doing?
Nothing.
Going home.
Yeah.
Like literally more than half the time we would go home, maybe grab a pizza, maybe go to the closest sushi place, but not do anything special. We just literally just
kind of like me and food menus. When you have like a new restaurant and you're going like, oh, I know exactly what this dish would be, but I'm going to look at the entire menu, and then in the very end you just pick exactly what you're comfortable with. Same thing.
No, that circle was the worst. I knew it was coming every time. After the last class ended, I just see people forming the circle around a group of friends, and we just stand there and just talk, and then I'll be like, fuck, what am I doing? I'm not going to do anything, bro.
I feel like we wasted a lot of time in high school.
Oh my God. Man. High school was like literally like, I wish I could take it back and just be like I am now in high school, because I would. Yeah. Thing is, in high school, I gave a fuck about what people thought. And and I tried to mold in, I guess. No, that's what I was like. I wasn't like more. Now I feel like I'm more myself. Like to the point, like real talk, I'm more myself. Like back then, I think high school has that thing of making you try to fit in, and you don't want to be an outcast, and it has
you're trying to conform to kind of like others.
Yeah, and you're just trying to be friends. You have to be friends with people you don't really even fuck with, or like.
I mean, it's kind of hard. You're still forming your like self identity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're growing up still, and I didn't know who I was, I guess, at the time, but now I'm more comfortable with myself, more confident, and I'm doing my own thing, but like I'm just more like comfortable in my skin.
Yeah. Hey, it was always there. You just had to be comfortable.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. But now, if I can go back, I would be not in that circle. I would still be friends with probably some of those people, but like I would just be like, no, you guys are not doing anything. I'm going home, or go hang with people that are doing something. Like I wouldn't waste my time like that. Oh, there's so much time wasted. Like, how would you waste your time? You brought it up.
Waste my time, dude. I played a lot of video games. I mean, I still do. But
I played a shit ton of it. I used to skip school to play games.
And Call of Duty back in the day was just.
I skipped school to play COD. I skipped school to play Smash Bros. When Brawl came out, I literally like went to half my classes just to play Mario Kart. I finished in like a week because I was just at home playing.
I mean, I had Asian parents. They wouldn't let me skip school.
The thing is, I would skip school whenever my mom went to work or something, or went to.
Did she ever find out?
And I would just say, oh, I skipped last class, or I skipped, or I just came home early because I wasn't feeling well.
I wasn't feeling well.
And every time they used to call, oh, you know what I did? You know how high schools, they
call in the morning, I think.
They call you like around 10 a.m., 11 a.m.
Yeah.
if you don't
totally
show up, right?
Yeah.
But what I did, or sometimes they call you after school if you missed the whole day, or they call you again maybe. But I switched the number to my cell.
Smart.
In grade 11, 12, when I got a cell,
phone.
I like switched it to my mobile, and I was just like, all right, I see the call, and I don't pick up, and I see the message.
Dang, you're lucky. I didn't have a cell phone then.
Yeah?
I didn't have a cell phone until maybe grade 12 or uni. I'm a little older than you guys.
Yeah.
But like, man, yeah.
No, same. My older brother, he's like more your age, and he didn't have a cell phone in high school at all.
No.
He got it in university.
Yeah.
And for me, I got it actually pretty late. People in high school had it in like grade 8 when I was there. But so I graduated in 2014. But like when Yuki did too, so we were around the same time. But when I was there, literally everyone had a phone before me. But the time I got it was like grade 11, and the reason I got it, I had to work. So like my mom wasn't gonna pay for my phone, so I had to get my first job, which is at McDonald's. I got a job at McDonald's.
I remember that actually.
Yeah, I got a job at McDonald's just to get a phone. I wanted a phone so bad. Like, how are you supposed to get a girl's number without a phone? Oh, hit me up on
like
Facebook.
you had the confidence to talk to her.
Yeah, I didn't, but like, even if I did, like, what can I do, you know? Like, but like, yeah, what were you supposed to do? Like, text plus? Like, I don't know. You sound like a loser. You don't have a phone.
What
so I
is
tried my.
Plus?
It was like I had an iPod Touch.
Oh.
Right.
Oh,
so I just needed Wi-Fi to
app,
text,
yeah.
and there's like an app to text to give you a number. But then they'd know that it's not a real phone.
Man, no,
it wasn't that good.
Wi-Fi. It wasn't good.
Like, now it's like
just,
everything. You just need Wi-Fi.
yeah, because WhatsApp. I use WhatsApp more than text. Like I don't even text anymore. It's all
you guys
WhatsApp.
remember MSN though, right?
Yeah. Oh, MSN. Elementary days there.
Yo, when you
That's
nudge
where
people.
I talked to all the ladies.
All of them.
The Skype sessions.
Whoa, we had Skype. Wow,
Yeah,
you're fancy with the
homework and
webcam
stuff,
though.
Yeah.
Nothing interesting to talk about.
No, man, MSN Messenger was the days of like just always going in to check if your crush is online and like see the pop up and the orange and that symbol when they message you.
Well, I think that's how I wasted time at some point because like you'd be doing homework and then at night you'd be on MSN at the same time. Yeah. You'd get sidetracked, start talking for like half an hour about the homework that you should be doing. Yeah, and it was weird because like back then you'd always have to be on your computer or something, but now, yeah, like you said, all you need is Wi-Fi. And you can do whatever you want to do. And then you can also intertwine your social life at every front. For sure. It's so accessible. That's why.
It is, yeah, for sure.
Wi-Fi is great, man. I can't imagine without it.
Oh, man, I don't know how
that's why I
live without Wi-Fi now, hey?
That's why you go camping, though.
Camping? I can't camp.
You can't. Oh,
nope. I can't.
What are you afraid of?
Give me a cabin. Give me a cabin.
Give me a cabin.
Cabin in the woods?
No.
Cabin in the woods?
No horror shit here. Just give me a cabin with like.
That was scary.
Give me a house. Give me Airbnb. You know, I don't want to see bears. You know, fuck that shit. And I live in the fucking Great Northwest.
Great Northwest.
Great Pacific
Northwest.
Yeah,
and like fucking, this is the most outdoorsy city of like in Canada, but like I can't camp, yo. I don't want no bugs on me. I don't want no animals digging through my trash. Like I don't want any of that. Fuck that shit. Oh my god. You guys been outdoor camping? Like set up a tent and all that?
Oh yeah.
Who hasn't?
What do you mean? No, fuck
Are
that.
you even a Vancouver right at this
y'all
point?
probably have fucking bugs on you right now, man.
No, are you kidding? I've had on one leg, I don't know why, it's something in my blood or something. I'm like warm blood or something. Well, everyone's warm blood, fuck it. But on one leg in 20 minutes, I swear I had 10 bites on my right calf.
Yeah,
that's it.
I ain't trying to get malaria. Like,
I'm not trying to contract malaria, but like, that's how it works.
I don't think there's any malaria here, man.
I know.
To be honest with you.
Hey, you know what we have here now? Apparently, we have one case of coronavirus.
Are we talking about? So, for those who don't know, well, Yuki is Japanese.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I was say he's of Asian descent.
We're all Asian descent.
Yeah, well, they don't know that about me yet.
Yeah, this guy's black, y'all. This guy's black.
I gotta tell you, someone they had only heard my voice because we were gaming, and then they met me in real life. They met me in real life. They're like, I swear, you're gonna be white. I'm like, I'm not a Connor, but yeah, I'll take it, I guess.
Clement could be a white person too.
Clement would be a white person. I've only met Asians that are Clement.
You haven't?
Yeah. No, I've only met Asians.
Yeah, it's more of an Asian name, but I could see it being a white person having that name too.
That's true.
It could pass for a white name. But yeah, the coronavirus is fucking nuts, eh?
Ooh, I got a story for you.
You know what's crazy though? But people are like freaking out, but doctors apparently are saying like it's not a big deal. If you're healthy, you can get past it. It's just people that are children and old people apparently, or like really sick people in general. They need to watch the fuck out because they can probably die from it. But like us, we're healthy young people. We I think we can beat it.
I mean, it doesn't have a high mortality.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. But yeah, what's your story?
Basically, so my sister went to the gym, and I guess these two ladies were looking at her weird because I guess she was just Asian, even though we're Japanese, you know.
Oh yeah.
And my sister saw this and she's like, "Wow, it's so racist to just assume things."
Yeah.
So then she started coughing, really, really loud, coughing everywhere, and they scurried off. And my sister was like, "Yeah, fuck them."
Oh my god.
My lord.
Funniest story ever.
And it's the craziest thing because, like, I get it. People were concerned for their health.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, we're basically Canadian. I've lived here basically my whole entire life.
I think all of us have.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And,
yeah.
Man, I don't think I've ever experienced racism until recently in terms of potentially people just giving you a look. Certain look in that way, right? Because
really?
Vancouver is Asian.
I just realized that this is probably the first time like it's getting really bad for especially you living in the area you're from. There's majority white people. Huh?
Yeah, but even Vancouver itself is predominantly Asian.
Yeah, there's a lot of Asian. And go to Richmond, it's all Asian, but like. I'm not going to Richmond.
No,
I think we're all
we're on the same page. I have not gone to Richmond. Haven't gone to the airport.
Yeah. I hate driving there, man. It's the worst. And I'm not even being racist, but y'all need to learn how to drive sometimes. Some of y'all, man, fuck. Jesus Christ, yo.
The turn signal is an option.
Okay, no. I can't agree with that.
I'm speaking
I despise people who don't turn their signals on.
Do you know the one pet peeve I have is probably when you're driving in the left lane because it's the fast lane, right?
Yeah.
Everyone goes faster in the left lane. It's just common knowledge. And you're waiting at a light. It's already red, but you want to go straight.
Yeah.
Suddenly the person in front of you, no signal for the entire time that the light is red.
Yeah.
Turns green.
Oh, I hate
pop that left signal on.
Because then you're stuck behind them for so long, especially when it's busy. Yeah. I'm like, I have to wait for the fucking next light, motherfucker.
You wasted a minute of my life right there, and you can't turn.
That.
Yeah, you either make that risky maneuver.
I'm about to fucking get on my car, fucking open the GTA, that motherfucker. I'm driving his car to the fucking edge, and so I can get through. You know, like. I hate that so much because I'm like waiting. I get pretty bad road rage once in a while, especially when I'm alone. Yeah, if I'm driving by myself, I get mad.
By the way, Tofu is probably one of the kindest friends I have. You little bitch, but Tofu's very
I'm a pretty nice guy.
Although he's nice to me, he's
certain guys are pretty mean to me.
There's certain friends that you play around with more, because you just feel the vibe more. Like I've roasted Kong a bunch of times too, but it's more friendly roast. With Yuki, I'm just more straight up. Yeah. Because he does that to me, so I'm gonna go do it.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah, like there's certain friends I can do that with. But yeah, I'm like in general. Obviously, I'm a kind person, but when I get mad though, I can get mad. You know, like especially on the road, especially when nobody's around, because I don't like getting mad in front of people. So, like, if I'm driving with my girlfriend, I'm not going to get that mad. I'll get mad. Like, she'll see me fucking get mad, and she can see my temper going, and I calm down after I realize she's right next to me, and she freaked out. But, yeah, but usually, when I'm by myself, I'll, like, scream at I get so mad when people cut me off. If, like, stuff like that, it pisses me off. When they're doing dumb shit, like, I just get, like, so like, well, how the fuck you have the license?
You're the expressive mad. Like you express, like you say what's on your mind.
Yeah.
There's some people that are like the disappointed dad. You don't say anything.
That's you, Claude.
That's definitely that's definitely. I don't say anything. I get silent.
Yeah.
And people are just uncomfortable.
I feel so bad when people do that to me. I know I pissed someone off, and they give me like that silent treatment. Or not even piss someone if I disappointed them or something. and they give me that silent treatment, or like they just act differently, or if I mess up with my girlfriend somehow, or mess up with
she's listening right now.
or mess up with any friends or anything in general, where we talk a lot on Messenger or whatever, or direct message, and we're doing, and then notice they talk different, they're messaging differently, giving you shitty replies, or even in person. I'm like, just tell me. Tell me what I'm sorry.
Wait, what do you mean?
This guy talks like boring all the time.
Well, no, but like back to the point where you're saying like people would reply differently, or they're just kind of like out of it. I'm pretty sure you do that. You don't mean to, but you're just like, it's like, how are you doing, Yuki? You're like,
wait, I've never been upset at you.
No, you've not been upset, but I think at me, but you've just been upset in general. So sometimes I feel that.
Yeah, I do that to my girlfriend sometimes.
Yeah,
but I think she does it more to me. If anything.
Yeah.
Oh, we went off base.
Wow, sorry guys.
It's okay. That's kind of what this podcast is about. You know, we can go off base and talk about whatever we want. So, if we go back to the show. Actually, I have a question about kind of related to the show. Would you rather live in the 70s?
No.
Straight no for you? I think this guy would love the 70s.
Okay.
Love it.
So a little bit of a claim here. This guy is like prehistoric. Like he doesn't know. He finds out about things like 10 years after.
Make
right?
me sound like a 50-year-old.
No, you are.
You kind of are.
Exactly. That's exactly what you are. This guy learned about like old like Charlie bit my finger like 2 days ago. Like,
what is that?
I never heard that.
You know, okay. I'll give you the extent of my meme knowledge.
His meme stuff. He shows me memes that were 10 years ago.
Salt Bay, right? The Salt Bay. Okay, how long was that?
Recent. That's still a couple of years ago.
There is my favorite, my personal favorite. Yeah, there's a flag around. My personal favorite though is definitely the ice cream tester.
I don't even know what that is. Oh, I know that.
Warm it up.
But this was like from a video from like 10 years ago. I think it was early 2000s.
Yeah,
and
I brought it up.
He tells me about it about like
he loves that shit.
Half a year ago, and he's like, "Did you see this meme?" And I'm just like, "Yes." Like 5 years ago.
It's so good though.
Yeah, but yeah, this guy. I think you would like the 70s, but I don't know. Maybe
the thing I'd like about the 70s is that, okay. First of all, I don't think it'd be as welcoming. We'll get to that, but I think the first thing is that I don't know, in terms of if I was a minority then it would be rougher, definitely. But if I had the same proficiency in my like language and now and I had like, is it me now or growing up back then?
Show, did it have any Asian representation? I don't think it had any Asian representation.
And I'm totally fine with that. It's just it wasn't kind of like an attractive feature.
Well, honestly, Asian representation is representation is
having a little trouble.
I'm having a little trouble saying that, but it's only become a recent thing, huh? Yeah. Like it's becoming more of a normal thing in Hollywood and in television recently, where they're coming out with a lot of shows that are with a lot of Asian actors, and they're not just they're not just stereotypes. Back then, in the 2000s, I don't think there's like one character that's more than there for like more than 3 episodes.
No. Yeah.
Well, one thing, like even now, like for me, staying on the topic of TV shows, like Kim's Convenience is one of my favorite shows. I haven't seen the new season, but
a podcast with that will be coming up hopefully in an episode of Before You Binge too. Right, Kim's Convenience.
It's great,
yeah,
but at the same time,
Canadian show.
It's a Canadian show, and it blends together kind of what it is in reality, having parents that are from a foreign country at the same time growing up in North America. Yeah. And you can relate to it wholly because it shows you the stereotypes, makes fun of it, but at the same time shows you that we're just like everyday people too.
Exactly, yeah.
Everyday people.
One of the big things I related to from like an Asian show was Fresh Off the Boat, where the kid takes his smelly lunch to school. Yes. And he would ask for his parents for like sandwiches instead. Because I totally did that back in the day. Because I wanted to fit in with everyone else. Yeah. But then now it's like, I love my food way better than these boring sandwiches that I would get on a regular day.
Yeah. Oh, you love Subway though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fuck with Subway.
Midnight cravings.
I love Subway.
It's okay. Subway's okay. Subway's okay.
But no, another reason why I think you love the 70s. Okay. This guy, man. You know how recently people don't ask out people normally anymore.
Ooh.
You know that, right?
Well, I mean, back then they had like landlines. That's it.
Yeah, but like people don't like talk to each other on let's say buses. So
subtle. I like that.
Alright, this guy's nickname. We have a nickname for him. He's called Bus Boy because he loves picking up girls on buses.
Yep.
So that's why I'm bringing this up is because I think it's one of the funniest stories I've heard. When I heard about this, I'm like, Jesus, Clemens, that guy.
Can I tell the story?
Yes. I want to hear it. I'll clear up any discrepancies.
So
afterwards.
We both went to the same university, and basically, what happened again? He was on the bus home, and I think he was reading an essay for one of his classes or something, and there was a cute girl beside him, and he was like, "Hey, can you look over this article? It's like very interesting." And she's like, "Sure." And I guess the conversation started there, and then that grew into a 4 year relationship.
4.5 year relationship.
4.5 year relationship.
Actually, that was the first girl I ever asked out.
Yeah,
ever.
It's quite bold.
And
that is insane. I can't imagine doing
my
that.
My first relationship. Yeah.
That's wild.
And then so ever since then, I've been scared to like ride a bus with this guy because I might just end up in his bed.
Jesus.
And sleep with him.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'll be fair. I did want to chicken out several times.
Did you see this go on a bus multiple times or just that one time?
That one time.
Wow, you took your shot.
I had one
he's
shot.
He's the definition of shooting your shot. Clement, shoot your shot.
Shoot your
he
shot.
He did it. He shot it. He fucking scored.
And I wish it was a Sunday so you can say shoot your shot Sunday or something. People go out on the weekend, guys. Go out, ride a bus, meet someone new.
That's a thing.
In Vancouver
doesn't have to be on a bus.
It doesn't have to be.
All these people it's Tinder. It's all these dating apps. It's online dating. And like it's DMing people on IG that are across the country.
Whoa.
Hey, that's what happens nowadays.
Let's just. How did you start seeing your girlfriend? I'm pretty sure you messaged her on IG.
Oh, technically I was across the country. I was on the other side of the world, but I known her.
Okay.
I've known her beforehand.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I did DM her, yeah, but but the thing is, I knew her. I had a basis with her beforehand. I met her. I was gonna ask her, but I chickened out. I was gonna ask her out 4 years ago 4 or 5 years ago when I first met her, but I chickened out. But like I went up, so I was gonna sell a textbook to her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was gonna sell a textbook. No. It was we went to the same university and we had textbook selling. I was selling some textbooks she was taking.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to go, I had a plan. I obviously I freaking stalked her on on social media and whatever, and I was like, oh, she's cute. I'm gonna ask her out. I'm like, because this is the first year in university or second year for me, and I was like, I'm out of this high school phase. I'm ready to be confident in myself. I was watching YouTube videos how to pick up these girls. Nice. I had lines in my head. Like I was ready for this moment. And I you know what happened? I went up to her. It's like I sold the textbook. I'm like $80, and then she's like, oh, here you go. And then I was like, okay, thank you. And then she's like, oh, you don't want to count it? I was like, no, it's okay. And I walked away.
Oh.
I ran, I sped
walking. You ran like the wind.
Your mind went blank, didn't it?
In the moment, it's so scary. That's why I'm like, hearing about your story, I'm like, geez, you're good.
It's scary, but it's part of the fun.
Now I'm much more confident, and I can talk to whoever now, and it's just the growing process. Obviously, that was my second year. I was like 19 or whatever, but like now I'm like growing up more. And I get it. Like always, if you're from high school, you're watching it, you'll eventually get more confident in yourself, and it'll be better.
And it's funny that you gotta think about it. Like people have so many different sides to them. Mm-hmm. It's okay if they don't like you. That happens. That actually happens.
That's the number one thing I tell people is if you're gonna have, you're never gonna see them again.
Exactly.
You're not gonna see them again.
No, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
They're not on your mind. Like, don't worry about it. Like, they're not gonna be thinking, oh,
if it's someone from a class, I guess so, but you can sit somewhere else. In university, you can sit somewhere else. It doesn't really matter. But like, and it's for one term.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. If you really want to wait till the end of the term to ask someone, it's kind of shitty because you're not gonna get to spend the time with them in class where you can be developing. Yeah. But there's like a lot of different things to it. But
did they have buses in the 70s?
Yeah, I think they definitely did. Yeah, they had like they definitely had buses, right? I had to probably be in the back of the bus back then.
Actually, sorry, back of the bus, no sitting.
I can't even sit.
No sitting. Yeah. No,
man.
I'm sure you had sitting. Rosa Parks was.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into that. I don't know my history well enough.
All right. Okay, a couple things I want to go over before we wrap things up here. I'm just gonna go over some bonus topics here of that 70s show that I loved. All right, Kelso, my eye. Do you remember when Hyde, every time he beat him up, he'd always fucking injure his eye? I fucking love that. My eye.
Does he smack so hard that he just feel it in his eyeball?
Yeah.
Oh,
or in the first season, Kelso, when he's has a break, he's like, I'm gonna break up with Jackie. I'm breaking up with Jackie today. Every episode he's gonna break up with Jackie, never does it.
I can't deal with people like this, where they say they'll do something all the time and they won't do it.
Oh, I don't.
You can't even. You don't have the words for it. Right?
But it was hilarious.
Falling off the water tower. Almost every character fell off the water tower, which was awesome. Fez, we were saying, I said good day. I said good day. Good day. I said good day. I love that. And then the circle we talked about earlier, and obviously Red saying dumbass. Obviously, the way he says dumbass is so funny, and that's one of the words I say a lot. But I say it in a really different way, like dumbass, like kind of like
that doesn't have a lot of
stupid dumbass, kind of like that, you know.
The best part is when you really separate, you give it that feel so that they really feel it through their soul.
Like Red was like dumbass.
Yeah, like it hurt.
Yeah, the way he says is, I wish I can say it like that.
It had a good ring to it.
Yeah, it does. And I remember the episode where he figured out how to like the first time he said dumbass. I think he was like, this guy's dumb, and he's an ass. Dumb ass. He's a dumbass. I think it was like something like that. It was so funny when it was like it's not, I don't know what the word, epiphany or whatever. He had oh my god, this is the word. Yeah. And the last thing I want to mention from that 70s show was burn. What's the biggest burn you've ever dealt to someone or received?
Ooh, it's definitely roasting Clem.
One burn came to my head right away.
What's over?
Okay, and this is in home ec class. I think like in grade 8 or something. Someone pulled the chair on me. I smashed my head against the cabinet.
Shit.
And I was like, I was watching that 70s show at the time, and I was thinking, damn, that was a good burn.
They didn't say it. You burned yourself.
The thing is, he pulled it on me.
He pulled the chair, but did he say burn?
No, he didn't. He didn't say it. Nobody will say it, but like, you know, in that 70s show, they say burn on anything. It could be a thing you do or a thing you say. Yeah. But it was just like, I was like, damn, that guy actually did it. Like, most people do it and put it back, you know, I feel bad. But this guy left it, and I sat and like, smashed my head. That was a good burn. And also, like, one time someone dunked on me against the lockers. With nothing. Yeah. But, like, dunked on me, and it literally, his balls were almost on my face. Oh. I was like, God damn, that's a good burn, bro. But don't embarrass me like that.
It's not something you want to see on a daily basis.
No, I was pretty mad at the time. Like, pushed the guy out, got pretty mad. But, like, now I'm like, I can joke around with him.
Comfortable with your sexuality, right?
Yeah, definitely. All right, how about you guys? You guys have any good burns?
Oh, man.
Dude, I burn people, or I get burned actually more often than anything.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of a blur, but Clem and I, we definitely make fun of this one girl from work. Half Latina, half white.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I won't say any names here.
Yeah,
we all know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Just 1/16 German.
That's such an irrelevant fact.
It is.
But she'll probably bring it up. Right?
So important.
Oh, one of the big jokes we make is about how she's really big on authentic Mexican food.
Yeah.
But we always make fun of it where we say Taco Bell or
Chipotle.
Best.
By the way, I love Chipotle. I have no qualms with Chipotle. It's not
Chipotle's bomb.
Yeah, it's bomb. It's just not the most authentic.
Obviously, you don't go there for authentic.
Exactly.
I can't even speak to
authenticity.
Authenticity.
Your lips are too thick,
yeah,
Tofu.
You can get a moist in your There you go.
Now, if you ever really want to grind someone's gears, and they're Mexican or Latina, I think the main thing is, and I learned this recently, is distinguishing corn tortillas and flour.
I actually didn't know there was a difference.
I didn't know
until you told me.
Now, corn tortillas are it's like that how do you say it? Mexico. It's like authentic, right?
Oh, okay.
Flour tortillas are like basically trash in their eyes. So you bring up to any person that's of Latino descent, usually.
I'll keep that in mind.
See what happens.
I guess
I don't know that many Latinos, but
yeah,
I know here and there a couple.
Yeah,
I know a couple,
not too many.
But you don't want to burn them because they got that hot Latina fire that come back at you, you know. I don't know about that, you know. Well, okay, we're wrapping up now. Any do you guys have any last thoughts or plugs or anything? What you guys are up to? What do you offer to the rest of the day? I don't know. Anything you want to say before we do the outro here?
If you like anime, watch Promise of Neverland.
This guy's been telling me to watch that show, Promise of Neverland, forever, but I will get to it.
It's
eventually.
a great show.
I will get to it.
I got two things to say. Maybe they'll sponsor us, but we're having Stanley Park Brewing.
Winter Ale.
Winter Ale. I mean, Stanley Park Brewing here.
Stanley Park.
If you're watching this, just this guy's gonna blow up. Tofu's gonna blow up, and you better get on this fast. It's pretty good beer, by the way. Second remark is I'm a big basketball fan. I know recently this week a lot of people have heard all around the world, Kobe Bryant, and regardless of whether or not you're a fan of basketball, given his flaws and his strengths, he inspired a whole lot of people, and he kind of showed you a new way to live life, and he was
his Mamba mentality.
Mentality, exactly.
And that's what I'm doing with this stuff too. I'm pushing myself to do things that are outside my box just because of him, you know. Yeah. He's one of those guys that grew up, Kobe Bryant, really, and his daughter Gigi Bryant.
Yeah, and all
all the seven other people that perished in that helicopter crash. Yeah. Really, rest in peace.
Yeah, just open up your eyes, cherish the ones you love, live life to the fullest every day, and keep going. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Rest in peace, Mamba out.
Yeah.
Mamba forever, though, right?
Oh yeah, Mamba forever.
Yeah, respect. All right, we'll wrap it up with that then. Thank you for tuning in wherever you tuned in, Spotify, iTunes, wherever this is going to go up. YouTube, definitely. And if you liked it, if you enjoyed us, if you guys want these guys back on the show, hope you guys like them. I'm sure they'll be happy to come back and do another show with me. So
thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. Just
thanks for having us.
Comment below if you want these guys back, and like the video if you see a video. I don't know, what do the YouTube people say? Like the video, subscribe, do all that shit.
Down below.
Down below. I'm the worst person.
Support me on Patreon.
Yeah, I don't know. I just this is fun having a chat with my friends here. So if you want this to continue, and if you liked it, do what you can to support, and that'd be great. And we'll take it from there. How about we end it with the
really, laughter.